Well, everyone, it's time for us to take a look at the iPhone 7 Plus and see how this phone holds up in the later part of 2022. Now, we don't really have to go into crazy details because, most of us know how this iPhone has held up so far, but I will tell you, in my experience, this is still a very interesting iPhone, and a lot of things have happened since even my mid-year review of this thing. I mean, this thing, since then, has, been discontinued with software. We got the latest iPhones, and I've actually compared it to the latest iPhones, and I think it's sitting at a very interesting spot, which is very funny. Now, first of all, what I will tell you is the body of this thing still holds up very well. I think this thing looks very good for the most part. 5.5 inch super, not super retina, it's an IPS panel. You have the home button, you have lightning on the bottom, you have a dual camera setup, and this iPhone was a lot of firsts. This iPhone, removed the headphone jack. It was the first one to do that. This iPhone brought a dual camera setup, first one to do that. And it was the first iPhone to bring 3 gigabytes of RAM, which was the first one to do that as well. So those are some really big things in this situation, and that is another reason why I love this specific iPhone. I used it back in, I think, 2018, and I had a tremendous time with it. Maybe 2017 I used it, I kind of forgot, but it was a great iPhone, and I'm glad that I ended up using it. Now, from the mid-year of this point, a very sad thing happened in 2022. This iPhone actually got discontinued with iOS updates. I personally believe that this iPhone could have easily got the next 4 or 5 versions of iOS, to be honest. So for it to be discontinued on iOS 4 or iOS 16, I was very unhappy about it. There's not much we can do at this point. I mean, it's discontinued. You could probably still jailbreak this thing and do other things like that. But if you actually want to go ahead and use this phone on an everyday basis, I probably would not recommend doing it because, it is actually discontinued. So that was a really big thing that happened earlier this year. But another big thing that happened was the new iPhones that just came out. And funny enough, this is actually the double point, I would say. It happens every once in a while. If you look at an iPhone 7, double that number is iPhone 14. And I guess the iPhone 14 is, double the iPhone. I don't know the best way to describe it. But what's very interesting is we now got the iPhone 14 Plus. I've compared the 7 Plus against all the other iPhones that have came out. And I will tell you, it sits at a very interesting spot. This iPhone has definitely been showing its age, but I think that's a good thing. It's actually showcasing to us how much better the latest iPhones are than the older ones. So I think that is a really cool thing that they've done. Whether they did that on purpose or not, I don't know how they would do that on purpose, but that is a really cool thing that I love that that company has done. So we have to give them a lot of credit in that specific standpoint as well. Now, on top of that, this iPhone has gone down in the used market a little bit, but that doesn't mean you should go and buy this iPhone. You could probably buy this thing for probably less than $100 at this point, but that doesn't mean you should go and buy this thing. I would probably tell you, in my opinion, if I can just summarize this iPhone and how it's held up in the last 6 months or so, it's not an iPhone I would recommend people to buy. And the reason I say that, it's because of its unsupported software. Although this thing is still going to be getting security updates, it might still be getting security updates for the next few years, who knows? The situation we're in now is that Apple is going to be switching out their lifestyle a little bit, and it seems like you have to have the latest iPhones in order to get all of the security updates on a phone. So that was a really big thing that happened recently within the last few weeks. So I would probably tell you, if you're rocking an older iPhone like this, it may make a little bit more sense to just buy something like an iPhone 10 or an iPhone 8 Plus that is still supported with software. That would make a lot more sense than buying something like, the iPhone 7 Plus as of this point. So in terms of that kind of covers it up for the most part. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that means so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.